Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. And this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 353. Got an amazing guest for you tonight. You will be able to find him on Instagram as Pop Shrooms. Hello, Chris. How you doing today? You want to tell us how you're doing and of course where we can find you? Please, good sir.
So, are you talking to me now?
Yeah, I am talking to you.
Right on, right on. So, IG, Pop Shrooms 2. Pop Shrooms 2. Make sure whenever you go there that you're thinking, Michael family.
Yeah. So, I am very honored to have you on this show. I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Oh, this is exciting. 353, this is your 303rd deal of doing this? Or did you just give it a random number?
No, sir. No, sir. To be honest with you, coming up here in March or May, March 25th, there we go, will be the 1 year episode of this show. And since March 25th of last year, I've done 353 of these episodes, 3 24-hour episodes, and 1 12-hour hash how-to video, and probably another 300 wormholes on top of all that.
Let me tell you, I'm proud of that, man, because that just means you're blowing out knowledge, or you're at least facilitating, like I said earlier, facilitating communication. I don't mean those as big words, just stringing two together. That's the real deal. Much more we can't do as humans, man. You're giving a lot away. Time. Look at the time you're putting in, bro. That's some serious commitment to your cause. That's like warrior. Seriously. No, I'm not joking. I'm not trying to blow smoke. That's a lot. You're doing way more than I thought, for sure. You're not competing with me, though, man. Sorry about that. I'll blow you up. But no, I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you. The truth is, bro, that's a big, I'm impressed. Respect. Congratulations for show 353 and everything else you're doing. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
That's pretty awesome. And honestly, that means a lot. It really does.
Kindness, bro. That's kindness with the capital K. People don't know. They tune in for half an hour. They watch Eagle. They say, I don't even know what you're doing over there, but I know you're doing something and it isn't for you.
I try to make sure it's not about me. To be honest with you, what I do here is I try to showcase like anybody and everybody in the cannabis industry, from the smallest home grower to the large scale home grower to IPM people, to soil people, to anybody that has knowledge or wants to tell their cannabis journey, is who I get on night after night, and it's been a huge learning experience for me.
Oh, how could it not?
I love meeting people, and it's to hear stories and how cannabis has affected them in their life and what has set them on the path that they're on. It's incredible. It's very
happy. I'm feeling kind of the same thing from my end, with my path, as it were, today, which is, in the whole shroom end of things. And I gotta say, I get it, man. The more you hear and communicate with people, the more, especially if it's like-minded people, all it's doing is pounding the nail in deeper that you're doing the right thing. The nail's just being pounded in every day. But boom, yep, another story, boom, another save, boom, another life moving in the right direction, boom. I love this stuff, boom. I mean, that's what you get every night. It's good, positive stuff. Congrats.
Well, thank you for doing what you do with the mycology there. It's saving lives and it's changing lives on many fronts, just like cannabis. Mushrooms as a medicine have been suppressed for way too long.
Yeah.
it's a wonderful thing that we're finally being open-minded now about its medical uses.
And I'll tell you, like, I'm that living testament of the open-mindedness. You talk about, don't think that this gray-haired old fella has always been open-minded. It's funny how life morphs you. There were times through I'm in my mid-60s now, and you're talking in my 30s and 40s of my path through life. I was probably the most dyed-in-the-wool, very conservative, don't step outside of this box, don't step out of that side of that box guy, other than my whole life. And if we ever get the whole story, I've always smoked some reefer. Always. It's a medicine. It's that one medicine. I can't even get high from the stuff at that point. It was just, I did it just to manage my own. At this point, I know that I was like manic depressive at some point, almost bipolar, undiagnosed. That was a way to manage my life, and very successful life. But I had to smoke a little weed every day just to monitor myself. And that's the way it went. But I was very, very conservative, super conservative. Got older. You take some circles around that. I don't even call it a sun anymore. I don't even think of it as a sun. I've changed. I don't even think of that yellow thing that's so beautiful. It's a star, bro. We're all stars, man. And we at least if we're not stars, we rotate around a star. Like when you wake up and you think about, man, that's a star. That's got power. It's got energy. It's feeding us vitamin D. It's a beautiful thing. It's not just some planet, some orb out there. Man, our first minute of our day, we are already being shined on by a star. A freaking star is shining on us. So what are we going to do with that information? My goodness, we got a day to live. We got sun shining. I take it back. A star is shining. How much cooler is that? The sun shining on you is kind of normal, right? But a star is shining on you. A real deal is shining. Man, I got to go get some of that star shine. It's a big deal. I'm not kidding. So now I'm 63 years old. Okay, I'm going to give you a small example. If I'm rambling, I apologize. Am I rambling? Is there something you should be covering? Am I rambling?
No, hell, I'm loving this. No, okay. Please run with it.
I'll tell you this ramble, right? So you go on a small day trip. Yeah, you're going to go from here to there. You're going to go on a picnic. Yeah, but it's an afternoon off. You're able to relax. You go here, you come home. When you went, you did a lot of observing. You went and you're like, wow, you noticed there was cows in the pasture over there. And you notice, oh, that mountain over there had a little snow on the top of it. Oh, the brook looked pretty right where you had your picnic. You notice things because you have time and you can look at them. Next time you go on that same picnic, you'll notice, the cows are gone. The snow's not on the mountain anymore. But you went on another small trip, same area, and you noticed things. I told you that story because of this. Now imagine you get to take 63 trips around the star that we call the sun. We take 63 trips around. Well, the first couple of trips around, you don't notice much. But about your 3rd, 5th, 7th, 8th, 23rd, 33rd, 55th trip, you start noticing stuff. And you also, the next time around, you're like, wait, next time around, I want to look tighter. I want to look even zoom in more on that thing, and boom, you kind of miss it. But next time around, you get a bigger piece of the picture. Man, by the time you got your 63rd trip around that star thing, there's so much doesn't matter. There's so much jet and flotsam, bro. There's so much, man, there's so many things to look at. There's so much to observe. There's so much that the little things that we worried about when we were 32 years old about whether or not that girl was going to like me at the bar. Are you freaking kidding me? I spent a whole 3 weeks worrying about if she was going to call me back. Are you kidding me? Take another couple of trips around the star and see if it matters.
Man, I love your energy and perspective on waking up and bathing in a star versus the sun. It's an awesome perspective and a better way to look at it for sure. Makes
I
you
mean,
feel more grateful for the
you
moment.
gotta be, right. It's a freaking star. And I don't just make this up tonight. I mean, it is a it's a changed perspective. I sort of programmed that perspective into my brain in the last few years. I have a little thing I call it a practice, neuro-linguistic programming. Change a word, neuro, brain, linguistics, what we speak, programming, do it all the time. Stop calling it the sun, call it a star. Just do one thing like that. Your whole perspective about that shine will change. Just change that one word in your vocabulary. Never call it a sun again. Call it, and I'm not talking to you and I'm telling you to do that. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's not always easy. In our conversation here, I've called it a sun 8 times when I really want to keep calling it a star. So it's a star, gosh darn it. And as long as I call it a star every day, I'm getting starshine. I want to call it sun. That's a normal ass day. Everybody gets sunshine.
It's an amazing way to look at it. It is. I really like it. You know, Les Brown, who's one of the most motivational speakers I listen to occasionally, and he always says, you know, when you're thinking about your dreams, always aim for the moon. That way, if you missed, you'll always be amongst the stars.
I kind
And
of like that. And but man, I want to pick on it too because I'm also like, first of all, don't aim there. That's a linear aim. That's another thing that men do. Men, we're go to the top, go far, go make it again, shoot for the moon. There's men, not just men, I mean human Homo sapiens. I include women in our unfortunate group here of we think linear, we think binary, win, lose, top, bottom, in, out, yin, yang, black, white. Nature doesn't have a win in her. She doesn't have wins in her, man. She wakes up, what looks like a win can be a loss. What looks like, oh, that lion, it died. That looks like a loss. No, there's a bunch of other animals that are going to eat from it, and then a bunch of cockroaches and ants, and it's going to decompose, and a new hump of grass will grow there. So that isn't even a loss. So nature doesn't win or lose. There is no binary. You know what nature does, bro? Nature wakes up every morning and goes to work. She puts in her time. She goes to bed at night. She doesn't complain. She just does her job, follows her nature, does what's appropriate, what's comfortable, what's right. And you know what? If it's complicated, great. If it's basic, great. She isn't asking for anybody's compliments, telling her you did a great job this morning, nature. But we all want that. She isn't out there trying to tell you how to do it either. But we're out there, not you and me, but we're out there, men, telling each other what to do and how to do it. Nature hasn't drawn one circle or one real boundary. There isn't a boundary in the world drawn by nature. Men have all done that on maps. Nature doesn't spend money. We made that up. I'll go to my mushrooms. I hate borders, bro. I hate them. I hate borders anymore. Because guess what? There isn't a spore in the world that can't blow from here to Canada. If it left my lab, it can go to Canada really easily. It has that right. I don't. How wrong is that? How screwed up are we that as Homo sapiens, we can't go across an imaginary border, but spores can? How much smarter are they than us, bro? They got it. They figured it out eons ago. That's why they've been around forever, and they'll be around after we blow the planet up. Because they don't want.
I actually
They don't want circles. They don't have anybody keeping anybody apart.
I actually think they will be here forever, and I think they were
Will.
here long before us.
They will. It's
I
already
hate to say it, but
no.
and I'm honestly thinking, as of late, as of this whole last year, this journey has taken me a lot of places. It's taken me, my realization of where I thought my love for cannabis was has become way deeper. And then in my journey through cannabis, it's taken me, well, I've always had an interest in mushrooms, but if we get there, we get there. I'll tell you my story with mushrooms at some point. But it's weird that as down my journey with cannabis, I've kind of ventured down with organics, the side of things as well. And I've realized the importance of the mycology in the soil. And then all of a sudden, I realized how important it was in our bodies as well. The same microbes. You know what I mean? That was the communication network from plant to plant to tree, and the same intelligent present it has in our guts, all the same. And I think it's eerily similar to what we've seen in Avatar. That communication, the fungal network in the soil, all one, being like undernet. It's not the internet. It should be the undernet, the community, the undernet of it
Yeah.
all. And I haven't realized how actually intelligent the mycology actually was until I actually started reading into like books like the Dirt Cure and stuff like that. It really is a second brain. You talked about it being smart, man. I've seen some really crazy stuff as of late about mushrooms and how intelligent they really are and how they affect us and our thinking in our gut. They really are a second
And
brain.
our holistic being. Here's what's happened. Unfortunately, the Homo sapien group, who we are as Homo sapiens, we overran, we're overpopulated, and therefore destroyed things as a result. We didn't have that intention as a species, but we're not a species that is. Here's the bottom line: our egos, and our desire to especially today to. I'll go to somewhere else on the culture issues, but the minute you make money something important, the minute you say, I glorify the idea that it's important to have a yacht in a harbor in the Mediterranean that I'm going to go sit on the deck once a year, and it costs $5 million, and the janitor at the company that I own has 7 kids and he can't feed them, but I do have a yacht that I'll go sit on the deck once a year. It cost me $5 million. And people want to be that guy and they want to go sit on that deck. As long as that exists in the world, we're screwed. We should all want to go blow up the boat and then tell the guy nobody gets to deserve that kind of pay discrepancy. Nobody's worth that kind of money versus the janitor. Because here's what we're forgetting. Here's what Mr. CEO of the business is forgetting. The janitor's cleaning his poop hole where he shits. He's cleaning that. There should be so goddamn much respect for that man, but it's not. I'm going to take his money and go sit on a fucking yacht. Well, then you're kind of, everything's out of balance. And until people can tell that guy he's wrong, we're not doing that. We're feeding that as our culture. We're telling our culture, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the janitor? Or do you want to be the guy on the yacht? And 80, 90, 95% of the guys raise their hand and say, I want to be the guy on the yacht. I don't want to be a janitor. I want to hear the guy say, I have so much personal pride in the man that'll clean someone else's poop hole. Jesus Christ, do we have it backwards in it? When's it going to change? Who's going to change it? It's only going to change one guy at a time, man. As soon as I look, I can't tell a guy on a yacht, that's really cool, bro. I like you. You're cool. I like you, man. You're cool. I look at a guy on a yacht. You know what I'm talking about. A guy that would spend that kind of ridiculous. I look at a guy like that, and I want to puke on his yacht. And then then the janitor can go there and clean it up and get paid overtime. At least make it worth the janitor's time. I'll help you make some extra bucks, bro. Let's go puke on his yacht.
I like you. I like you. Can I call you Chris? Or would you prefer me call you Pop Shrooms?
Stick with Pops, bro.
Pop?
Yeah.
I will call you Pops.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah. But yeah, that's my, it makes me, there isn't anything. At the end of the day, here's the sad part. We're all telling the guy that, oh God, what a great looking yacht you've got. He's going to die pretty soon. 10, 15, 30 years, who knows? What's the yacht going to do? The yacht's going to sink, or it's going to turn into a rust bucket or something like that. I got tons of crap here right now, Eagle. Tons of shit, all in the brick houses. I own freaking a bunch of them. What are they going to do with them when I die?
Can't take it with you.
Just you don't take anything with you. The goal is to have a dime in your pocket left when you go. That's the goal. One dime left, but live clean where you're not depending on anybody. You're not impacting anybody else. Nobody has to support you. Nobody has to take care of you. And take care of yourself. Have your side of the street clean. That's it. And then the rest of it, spend the rest of your life, whatever you got, giving it away. Because there's no way. What are you going to do with it when you're in a dirt pile or a bag of dust? You don't want to hear about humility? Let me give you one perspective of humility. And we're so screwed up on it. I was reading recently. If we just take time as we know it, like quote unquote, from the Big Bang, when time began till now, and then you take recorded history, where man started understanding enough to actually write on a stone tablet, chisel something. Now we're writing. We're in a communication phase of humans, Homo sapiens. Okay? Take that time between the time we started writing till now, and then take a book, War and Peace. War and Peace is a book this thick, and it's going to represent time, all the time we know. The time that man's been around and been writing a book or writing represent one period in that whole book. One period in the whole book of War and Peace is our written history time. One period. Now, that's 7,000 years. You and me, we're only living in 1 year of that time as we're talking right now. So how small is our little speck on that period inside the book, War and Peace of time? We're the smallest little dust particle. Nothing. Who do you think you are, that you have a boat that makes a difference? We're nothing. We're such a small speck. And I get to be here, bro. I get 70 years on my cycle. 70, 80 if I'm lucky. 90. Oh, I had an extra 10 years bonus. You know what? That 90 years is nothing. It's a blink. It's blink. In the world of worlds of life. It's a blink. If you don't do something in your blink, what a waste. You get one blink. A blink this big, but we wake up today isn't good enough. No, they didn't take care of me. We're going to spend our blink complaining. We're going to spend our blink feeling sorry for ourselves. We're going to spend our blink this big We're going to spend our blink doing what? Asking for people to give to me? Or I know what I'm going to do with my blink. I'm going to go make yacht. I'm going to go put yachts in the Mediterranean and have big titted chicks and be on the end of that yacht in my blink by ripping off my janitor. That's what I'm going to do in my blink. So we have one blink of starshine.
Man, I seriously, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, Pops. I love your attitude. I love your attitude. It is much of what I preach on this show, to be honest with you, about doing nice things for others, chasing your dreams. Because, like you said, I've said this to a lot of people, if your plate's too full, you need to lessen it up. If you're not what's feeding what's your soul, well, you're not actually doing what's right and what's making you happy inside, you are fucking wasting your time. You are
Yes,
wasting your time.
you're
And
actually
you're wasting other people's time.
Yeah, you're spinning your wheels. But, there's also, to me, there's some real, I'm not saying anything you just said isn't right. There's also a lot of self-help garbage in there, out there too. Because you know what? A lot of it is just freaking, I'm back to, I won't do anymore, bro. I'm a Marine. I'm a Marine. Like from the time I was 18 years old, I put time in the Marine Corps. I was taught, I swore, and I was trained, and I was programmed to kill and bleed blood for my country and America and the flag. And man, I have to and tell you, I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody out there. I don't care about flags anymore. A flag is a fake symbol of patriotism that somebody created to separate me from my brother in Iran. I have brothers in Iran that I'm talking to at 4:00 in the morning, because that's the time they can talk, that are growing mushrooms for medicine for people in their country. And they can die. They will be beheaded. They will have their heads cut off if their farms are found. Because somebody in their religion decided that that's not okay. So if you think that flag, my flag, is going to stop me from going to his flag, to flags. Flags are a fake way to keep us separated. That's all they are. They're symbols of they used to be, they might have been at one time something different. I'm not treading on other people's beliefs. Mine are today. Screw flags, screw boundaries, screw circles, screw tribes, screw religions. Nobody's right. Nobody. Who thinks that, my way is the right way and everybody else is wrong? But my job's to bring everybody to the right way. So I'm going to spend my life being a preacher to teach you. Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? Why don't you just give them a loaf of bread? Just give them a loaf of bread and go home. But instead, you want to poke him in the eye and tell him he's wrong, you're right. Instead, you want to blow each other up. Give each other a cup of water. Instead, we're drawing boundaries and saying there's 7 of us here. There's only 3 of you. Another one. Here's another one. Made in China. We used to, you look at made in China. That's a terrible thing. We've been programmed that as United States citizens. There's nothing wrong with stuff made in China. They do it just as good as us. It's all shitty. Everybody makes it to be obsolete in a minute anyways. But we look at something and say it's made in China, it's bad. No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with it. If it says made in USA over there, there's nothing wrong with it. Whoever made it, the consumer gets to decide. I like the product, I don't like the product. I like the quality, I don't like the quality. But it has nothing to do with whether it says where it was made. But the minute we said that, we've already said elitist, nope, the Chinese stuff, they make crap and we make good stuff. No, they don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't own the marketplace. And what's good and what's bad? There you go with linear thinking again. Forget linear thinking. It isn't about who won, who made good, who made bad. They made more. They made 70 of them. You made 30. Your 30 were made like this. Their 70 were made like that. So what? But it's a win, lose, good, bad, ours better, yours worse, draw boundaries, Chinese bad, American good. Stop. Give a Chinese guy a loaf of bread. Guess what he'll give you? He'll give you a cup of water. Both of you guys are going to be pals. Meanwhile, spores are blowing all around you, and they don't care.
Thank you for your passion. I appreciate everything you're doing, my friend. I really do, because this is a medicine, and more people are discovering not just psilocybin, that type of medicine, but mycology across the board. Lion's mane. There's medicine, tons of medicine across the board in mushrooms.
Just the process. Here's what happens. Much of the psilocybin use is for people with anxiety. Much. What ends up happening, if somebody just starts to get into the grow, the depression automatically goes away because they have something to look forward to. Now I have a reason to wake up and get off my couch or get out of my musty, moldy bed. Man, I got something to do today. I got to make some jars like this. I get to prep jars, and I get to put them in the PC, and I get them ready. I got a project today. Then I get to put it on a shelf, and I get to watch it colonize. Tomorrow I get to see how far it grew. They have something to look forward to. That's the depressed guy. The anxious guy, he's in the game too. Guess why? Because I'm teaching him, you just inoculated the jar. Now you can't touch it for 5 days. Ha ha. Put it away. Don't touch it. Oh, but I got to touch it. Oh, but I have to. I'm anxious. I'm that kind of guy. You touch it, you're going to have a bad grow. Put it away for 5 days. I'll put it away. You watch. It worked. Guess what? Anxious guy starts calming down. He starts learning. I start being less anxious. I start paying attention to my grow, and it works. Depressed guy, anxious guy, all of us weirdos, just growing it. And I haven't even started taking the medicine yet. But just to grow it changes who you are. And here's the key. You become kind. You have to. If you're angry and mad at this thing, it doesn't want to play. If you treat it with goodness and kindness, you're the creator. You're the guy that's making it. Nobody's in there screaming at their creation. So if you're an angry person, or you have anger issues, or if you're a person that just wants to take things out on the world, it won't work. So now you're going to have to calm down. You're going to have to start being kind and patient and peaceful. And you can turn all of your personality flaws into, make them go away. And the next thing you know, 21 to 30 days later, you have medicine that's going to change people's lives. And it just changed your personality. And you haven't even touched the medicine yet.
So, do you believe in fate? If you go back and watch this, you can read chat, okay? Actually, if you had another device, you could read chat as it's going along right now, because we are live, and currently there's 66 watching.
Are there people really? There's people, because all I see is you and me. I forgot people were even watching. I thought it was just you and me talking.
Oh no, there's 67 and climbing right now. People watching and follow along with this. If you had another device or another computer, you can bring this up on YouTube and watch us and read chat along.
Here, I do have another device.
Eagle Gardens on YouTube. You'll find us. We're currently live. Just type in Eagle Gardens and it'll bring up my channel, and we'll be right there front and center, and you can read the chat.
How interesting.
But
What's the chat
dropped a
say?
couple.
Stuff I should be paying attention to? Because I'm just screaming at your screen here. I don't mean to be doing. I thought it was just you and me, and I'm kind of embarrassd. Not that anything I said hasn't been. I mean every minute of it, but if I knew people were listening, I would have been more interactive. I think. I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is the way we like it. This is the
Oh,
way we like it. I wouldn't have it any other way,
okay.
to
All
be
right.
honest with you. And a few minutes ago, if you go back and watch this, you still be able to. If you watch the replay, the
Yeah.
chat, you'll still be able to read the chat and everything that was said.
Okay.
And I said like probably 5-10 minutes ago, I believe this interview could have been fake. To be
Fate.
honest with you,
Who said that? You
fake.
said. Oh, you're typing as I'm
I
talking.
said that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I can talk to chat, and you can too, actually. But you can actually direct them, address them, directly if you'd like. But
Okay.
this has been a great show.
Oh, that's good.
Just click,
That's good. Well,
just
what a great format you have
just
going.
so just click the video, and then when it comes up, pause the video because you don't need to watch us. You can watch us on Zoom, right? And then
Right.
chat will just roll. Chat if you bring up now on YouTube, hit
Well,
live chat
I'm
on
on
that.
YouTube, but I don't know if you can see it. I'm on YouTube, but it doesn't seem. I wish I was sharper on. I can't
No
imagine.
worries.
And
If you type in Eagle Gardens already, you should be on my channel, and then it should show a box with us, and you just click on that.
Okay, but this is a different YouTube. Hold on a moment. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it on this phone because it's going to make me sign in. And if I sign in, then it'll make me sign off on that other phone that I'm on. So that's okay. That's all right. Maybe you can walk me through chats if there's somebody asking a question, if there's something I'm rambling too much. That's okay. If I don't see their chats,
No.
I'll figure it out for
We're absolutely loving this. You have been spot on everything you've said, to be honest with you. And I appreciate everything you're saying. It's so true, to be honest with you. And but I believe this is fate, to be honest with you. Everything you've said about passion, and it all relates to what I'm doing here. And I've kind of a couple of days ago kind of went second guess things. I needed a little kick in the ass about
that.
focus.
Okay,
Where I wanted to take my dreams and everything.
I get it. I get it. You're saying, Pops, you're giving me a jump of energy just about the time I needed it. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it, man.
Yes.
We fuel each other, bro. That's all there is to it. And so if that's what you meant by fate, you better believe it. But I don't call it fate, not this. Fate's like a fake word. Fate's something we made up. You know what this is? This is dimensions that we don't get. Again, back to what I was telling you, when man's doing that, I never finished that thought about we're binary, win, loss. People talk about what journey are you on? Like I'm a cat. Well, I'm up here on my journey, and you're back here on your journey. How could I be ahead in my journey just because I know more about this one little thing than you? You know 50 things more about 50 things than I do. So you're ahead over here, and then you're over here, and this guy's over here. There is no ahead. There is no behinds. And we're just bouncing. We're all in there bouncing around, and we pass each other, and then we go past each other, and then run each other, on all your life. There's not a winner, and there's not a loser, and there's not a leader, and there's not a follower. We're just in there to make sure that if we're in that thing bouncing around, don't bounce into somebody else and hurt them. If somebody else needs help bouncing around, help them. Make sure it's all everybody bouncing good because we're not going to bounce for long. Remember what I said before? We only have a blink. What are you going to do for your blink? You get a little bit of time bouncing around in there, and it isn't. I don't want to spend any time in there trying to be ahead of anybody or behind anybody or winning or losing or on the side of a boundary or this flag's better than that flag. I don't have time for that. I got to blink here. And it's going to take, it takes a lot of circuits. That's the sad part. I was 50. I didn't know that. I was still circling that star and still, okay, I'll know more in the next circuit. But now at this time, listen to the old man in the white jacket. Listen to him. He's been around that star a few times, and he's telling you that shit doesn't matter.
Again, you can say what you want, but I really believe, because again, this interview,
energies were supposed to be there. You talked to me about us getting together 3 weeks ago. You weren't even close to feeling the way you did 2 days ago. So no, it wasn't fate at all. We've been planning this.
It was
together.
It was though.
I'm not buying saying that.
Let me explain. Let me explain this. Let me explain, and maybe you'll buy.
I'll tell you why, and then I'll be quiet. No, I'm going to finish, and I'll tell you why I say no. Because you're now accepting whatever you're accepting. You decided. You're the one making up. Oh, this is fate. Now I'm getting. No, you're sitting there being the sponge that you decided to be. You're deciding, sitting there, I'm going to receive from Pops tonight. This sounds good. This sounds right. There's a lot of energy. I need this. But it isn't because fate dropped some special gift on you. No, you're getting this right now because you're opening your own brain up and saying, this is what I need. This is what I want. This feels good. This is right. You're the master of it. No outstanding fake thing called fate. You're making these decisions. You're making the decision, open your brain and say, I like this. And I like you getting it because, boom, that's what our energies are supposed to do to each other. Bounce around and share. Okay, now I'll shut up and listen. Tell me why it's fate.
Okay. I will. I'm gonna tell you why. And I still, even after your rant, and I respect everything you just said.
It's fate and not you.
I'm siding with fate here.
Okay.
Because, this is why I say it's fate. I've been on this journey now for almost a year, coming up on a year. A couple of weeks ago, things were getting a little shaky. I was getting a little frustrated with trying to find guests and quality of the show and this and that, and life in general started to make me question my path, my journey, my sincerity in the dream. Okay, things got really shaky, and I really started to question it. I really got into a bad spot. Really got into a bugaboo in my head, to be honest with you.
Okay,
things got a little bit foggy, and then I kind of hit bottom a little bit with it all. And then I kind of, as you do when you hit bottom on anything, you find out what's important to you, the directions you want to take, and you pick up and you grab them things that you hold dear and you head off into them directions because you know now that these things are near and dear to you and this is what you want. And that's where I was a few days ago. So I hit that spot and I picked up my belief that I was going to take in cannabis, and I've said this for the last few days. I'm all in now. I see what I want to do. I'm all in. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to finish out my dream. So, and again, I have to back up. There's a whole where mushrooms actually fall into a big part of this whole thing. And maybe we can revert back to that, but I want to go to now and the fate. So I kind of got back on track. And when I decided that I was all back in with cannabis and this project that I had going, because this project means a lot to me and the community that I've created. At that point, when I was really trying to get back on course and things were starting, the good feeling about this project that I had was coming back. I could feel the energy in this and what I wanted to do, and nothing was going to stop it. I started seeing the angel numbers again. They faded for a minute. The 111, 222s.
What's an angel number?
Angel numbers are repeating numbers, like when you see
Oh, okay.
111 or 222,
Talking about. I have an
stuff
angel.
like that.
I
They,
wasn't clear on the term. I know what you mean. Okay. Okay. Angel number. I'm good with you.
so they have all they have a bunch of meanings, and I had stopped seeing them for a while, but once I started clear about wanting to do this show again, I started seeing them again. Okay. And
Okay.
then, as far as finding you, you were suggested by somebody in chat. And I went, they sounds like a great guest. Hit him up and tell him, D-Man, to give me a DM. You pop back, hitting you up. And then we scheduled this episode. Now we fast forward to today. This is, this invigoration of in this project is, that revelation is only a couple days old. And then here you pop on, and much of everything you spoke about tonight is almost everything almost everything in the drum I've been beating this last year. The way to live, help people out, to not doing things for profit, doing things for the right reasons. I end every show with do something nice for somebody. Brandon Max with kindness will change lives. Every show I end that with. And tonight with you, the message that you came on with, it's everything that I needed to hear. It is like like you were meant to come on and go, hey, buddy, remember, these are the things that are important to you. Remember, this is what you started this with. So, and then with that aspect, you are kind of the cheerleader I needed to fucking hear tonight. I honestly believe that these paths were crossed for
Well, okay.
some way.
I'm gonna take.
So,
I mean that. Thank you, brother, and from the bottom of my heart, because you know what? I'll give you a side effect, a side on that for a moment. Let me table a thought, but back to. I hope you weren't hearing me disrespect you by saying fate, making fun of your idea of it being fate versus me telling you it's your choice. And I'm not going to get further arguing on that. Fate to me leaves stuff in somebody else's hands. It's all in yours, bro. You did all of this. You're the one that reached out to the guy and made him your guest. You're the one that stayed in contact with me and made sure I knew what time and when and where to show up. You're the one that I had a problem even connecting. I don't even know how to connect up to this stuff. You made sure that it happened. You were so involved in the process. Fate had nothing to do with it. And as you're sitting here right now, you're deciding how much of this to accept, how much of it matters. And some of it's just like, yeah, that part was good, but it's not what matters to me. But this part does. You're the guy. You're the star of your own universe in that situation. No fate. That's my thinking on that. Now, my end of it, if you think me standing up and doing, I am one hell of a cheerleader. You better believe it. I do one hell of a pom-pom job. I can put pom-pom jobs on with the best of them. But guess what? There isn't a guy. Let's go back to a university. Let's pretend we're at some college football game, right? And there's always a stack of cheerleaders. They're the prettiest girls on the team. They're the prettiest girls in the college. And they're all wearing their letter and they're doing pyramids. There's always a guy. There's one or two of the guys. They're the cheerleader guys, and they're doing the megaphones. And guys used to make fun of that guy. Well, number one, they got the hot girls or the hot guys, if that's what they like. And number two, if you think that cheerleader guy with the cheerleader girls, that group, they aren't having more fun than anybody at the game, you've got another thing coming. You think the cheerleader, the guy with the pom-poms, isn't getting more energy than anybody else? Yeah, he's giving energy, but he's getting more than anybody in the game. Don't forget that. It's a two-way street. Nothing's one way. Nothing's linear. It's boom, 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 boom. Thank you for letting me be on your show. This means a ton. I'm growing. You're beautiful. Hope people out there get it. This is the way it's supposed to be. Love it. Cheerleaders get more than anybody else.
So, and I wanted to point out another thing to where we're similar as well is the growing, the way you describe the growing of your medicine, the mushrooms, it's the same way I describe growing cannabis. And I often talk about that's the defining moment, I think, that when cannabis becomes recreational to medical. That instance when you plant that thing and you're spending that time in your room, and just like you said, you're watching it grow, it changes the whole way you think about cannabis. It's now, your medicine, you're creating this, when every day when you go in there, it's the same thing. It's a loss in that anxiety. That plant just takes it away from you. It almost melts it.
Yeah.
That time in your room where you're looking over it, it's just, it fades everything. You've lost
Let's,
yourself, and you're now
let's,
in with the nature of the plant.
let's remember when you begin something, plant a seed, you start your spore, you get a bag inoculated. Let's remember, you're taking on the responsibility of being a creator. You're telling this situation, whatever. I'll go get something. Hold on. You're telling this guy right here. Well, let's see. Here's a nice jar full of colonized spawn. You're telling this jar it's going to start out like this, right? Boop, boop. Starts out, and then you're going to inoculate it with your syringe of whatever. And you're telling it, you're going to let it turn like this, all white, get it all beautiful like that. You're responsible for it the whole time. You can make it good. You can make it bad. It's up to you. The people that do it good take their time, care about it, and understand. I created that. And I didn't do it for money. When you do it for money, guess what ends up happening? You have a little money stuff. Okay, go ahead. Go get your money stuff. You know what you get when you care? You get the best medicine in the world. Here's the problem. Oh, we do this stuff. Oh, how does it give you a good trip? I don't know. That would be like asking I'm not a doctor. I pretend to. Why do I wear a jacket? We'll talk about that. Because it's cleanliness. Because it keeps us professional. But we're always clean in our labs. Back to, I'm not a doctor. But there isn't a doctor in the world that prescribes oxycodone and expects you to go home and abuse it. They don't. Oxycodone the first pill that you took was for a pain medicine. You're supposed to take care of it and do it right. But you go home, you abuse it. Well, when somebody gives you a microdose, you're not supposed to go home and abuse it either. But of course, people go home and they'll take hero doses and they'll do stuff. And that's not the doctor's job to tell them they're right, they're wrong. I'm not involved in telling anybody on the planet what they do is right or wrong. But those little microdoses, the one little one, if you don't abuse it and you microdose correctly, reach out to me on one of my DMs, you guys. It'll change your life.
I agree. So when did it change your life? When did it go from, because you said you were pretty straight laced. So when did this revelation come on for you?
Well, growing up, just getting older, I keep going back to the more circuits around the star, the more I just realize a lot of stuff's inconsequential. But let's do the truth, Pops. Originally, like I'm looking at the mushroom game a lot like the weed farmers out there. And the weed farmers were all chasing the big buck. And at the end of the day, now things are getting legalized and everything's getting regulated. And the big weed growers, some of them are getting choked out. And they're not able to make the money that they thought that they were going to make or had been making. So some of them are sitting around on piles of money. with the warehouses. And what am I going to do? Well, let's flip these grows and turn them into a big grows and grow this other stuff. Oh, okay. Well, I'm kind of sniffing around the edges looking at that too. Wow, that's a pretty smart way to make some money real fast. And this is from a greedy old guy that doesn't need a dime. I'm set for life. And I'm still out there chasing. How am I 60 years old and I'm still figuring out how can I make more money? Not because I have a yacht or anything. And I'm not ripping anybody off. I always employed people, always took care of my employees, always was good. But why is my brain, I'm talking about my brain, entrepreneurial brain, telling me, wow, let's go get more money. So that was my original look at it, bro. And then I was getting into it and I'm like, wait a minute. I started getting personal testimonies coming to me from people that were using this as a medicine. And I'm telling you, it changed my freaking life. It changed who I was to the bone. Because I can't grow mushrooms well if I'm a freaking creep. I got to take my time and I got to care about them. But man, when you hear some of the stories, and they're basic, some are basic and some are like, as one, I shared this the other day on my YouTube. A little girl, she's 7 years old. She has a fungus disease in her nails. She can't grow fingernails. Man, you think about a little girl being 7 years old, she's gonna like this from the playground for the rest of her life. Teased, made fun of, hiding, ruins your self-image. This is nails. You and me, we're men. We don't get it. They spend $100 a month on their nails to look beautiful for us. And it matters. And you're an 18-year-old girl in high school and you can't grow nails. Everybody's making fun of you. You just want to crawl up on a ball and die. That's not her fault. Guess what? In her early 20s, pops. Reach out, we start. But she starts microdosing. 6 months later, she's got the most gorgeous nails you've ever seen in the world. That's the reaction for her, the side effect for her. Who the heck doesn't want to do this job? Who doesn't want to wake up every? That's one tiny story, and it's some fingernails. I'll tell you a kidney replacement story later. I'll tell you other stories. I'll tell you a brain polyp story. Beyond the PTSDs, the anxieties, the depressions. And for me, it's lessened my need to smoke weed. I smoked a ton. 1 microdose in the morning. I smoke maybe 2 hits a day now, almost out of habit. And it's been really good because my lungs suck. My lungs are 90. I should have stopped a long time ago just for my lungs. So the dosing is saving my life. I don't need to smoke like I needed to smoke before. My own life. So yeah, I'm committed, bro. I'm in it. I'm in for the game. And I don't care who, whatever. I wrote something the other day on my profile, on my IG. You know what? I don't care if nobody out there gets to dictate my passion, my voice, how loud I am, who I care about, what I care about. Nobody gets to dictate that. I get to dictate it. If you don't like it, change the channel.
I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I greatly appreciate your passion. I do. These are all the same way I feel about cannabis. I am right there with you. I have the very same fire. I've seen a lot of the very same. It's helped me. It's changed my life. And it does. It does nothing but make you want to help others. Once you start getting that, it
Man,
just
and when
feeds the fuel.
And that's what happened back. It's like I looked at that and for a minute there, I was like, oh, let's see how I can make some money. And excuse me, my lungs. That random cough that'll never go away because I smoke a lot of weed. Anyways, that's exactly what happened. As I reached a point, I'm looking at this and I'm started helping people, and a little over 2 years ago, bro, it just switched. A total switch in why I do what I do. And then I didn't even know about the social media until middle of last year, maybe October-ish. I got turned on to Instagram. I'm like, hey, let me be Pop Shrooms on Instagram because I'm Pops over here, and that's my business name. I own a business, and all of this is, I've got businesses and a license and this and that. And this place here is dedicated to just what I do. I live somewhere else. I mean, it's all set up. This is not a game. And it should be a nonprofit organization because I bring in you see, I probably bring in, I'm saying this because maybe you have viewers still, I don't know. But we bring in
There's 85 watching right now.
Bro, we bring in 6 or 7 students a week here. Each of Mycology, a guy came in the other day, man. It was like, I'm addicted to Mycology, Pops. He goes, I used to be a heroin addict, but it's changed. I go, isn't it great to have a positive addiction instead of a negative addiction? He's like, this is the best. He goes, man, I have something to look forward to, something I wake up to every day. I get to go check my jars. I get to go check my tubs. I get to go check my Petri plates. I get some, man, I'm in the game. I got a game to be in. And I'm like, turn around, bro. Let me see your jersey number. Yeah, you're number 1. Look at that jersey number. You're wearing number 1, bro. That's this game.
And I appreciate what you're doing because, I say this a lot too. I think it's no coincidence that cannabis and mushrooms are being pushed to the forefront as far as medicine goes. It's so many.
They can't argue with the results. They're doing the therapy over in Johns Hopkins University right now. People are coming out of there like me. They're like, whoa, I changed. Wow, I did it. I changed. And all the doctors are writing it all down going, this stuff, we were supposed to be researching this in the 90s and the 80s. Why'd they make us stop? There's a 20-year gap in research in medicine. They turned it off.
It couldn't be any better time for a person like yourself to be spreading this knowledge. Anxiety is at an all-time high. Kids have it, adults have it. I'm finding relief in microdosing. There's a gentleman, Bingus, who's in his 60s as well. Just finding the power of microdosing, it's changing his life. He's been like almost 2 weeks.
It's like
changing his life.
It's a vitamin, but just to change it gives you a hope and a feel, and it isn't a trip. It's a mood alter. It's like, I'm not going to be depressed in the morning. I'm going to wake up. It's a star that I look at. It's a different perspective because it's literally, we know the psilocybin is not reconnecting. That's the wrong word. Connecting neural pathways that have not been connected. Some of our brains aren't completely wired all the way. This little guy goes in there and it fills in and it does some wiring and it changes some other, and boom, all of a sudden you're looking at Pops now looks at the sun and calls it a star. Now that's holistically done too. He's not drinking alcohol. He had a microdose. And now his life calls it stars instead of suns. That's pretty freaking amazing.
It is amazing. And it's helping and changing so many lives. There's another gentleman here that is also in Michigan, Fresh Pork Chops, who's started making an RSO that's part psilocybin, part cannabis tincture. And he said it's helping a lot of people too. So what are some of the strains? You want to help us? Because there's a lot of people in chat, and myself included. And as we talked about, many people are suffering from anxiety right now. Can you tell us some of the strains that work well and maybe some cultivation tips?
How down is it okay to be on YouTube being that?
We can, we're an open book here. We're an open book,
There's no consequences for certain topics on YouTube to you or to us or to me or anybody?
Sir, I'm on mushrooms right now. I've done a couple of episodes where me and my guests have been just tripping
You just
balls.
call me sir. Number one, don't call me sir. You just cracked me up completely. That's funny as hell, bro. Okay. No, basically if you were asking for potencies, here's the truth. With psilocybin, so much of it is set and setting. Set and setting. You have to be in the right mindset. Your mind has to be right. Or, you got to be right. And usually that's why people microdose in the morning. They wake up, your mind's right, and you see that because the other part of this is setting. And you want, usually, in order to even feel the effects of 300-pound guy that takes a little microdose this big after taking, having a steak and 3 potatoes, probably not going to really feel it. And then he's later going to go, I don't really get the microdose, so now I'm going to have to take 8 grams of it. No, you're in the wrong setting. What you want to do is be on an emptier stomach, empty, a microdose in the morning, and you chase it with the citrus drink. That activates things. So now you're a little bit of lemonade, or that's the best thing because the citric in it, or orange juice. Now, for the rest of the day, you just have an even flow. Some of the anxiety, some of the depression, some of those things, more than anything, you're bright and you're focused. Why do you think people in the biggest users right now are in Silicon Valley? All the tech guys running around in Silicon Valley, they're not running around high in their offices. They're working 12, 14 hours a day, driven, focused machines sitting there going like this and all happy and good and happy to be there and everybody's in good place. And just doing it naturally, hopefully, healthfully. And at the same time, they're eating good foods. They're eating granola bars for lunch. They're probably bicycling to work. I mean, it isn't just the pills changing their life. It's part of the life. It's part of a lifestyle. Part of my lifestyle. You don't think, this little microdose pill is a miracle pill. It's not. Am I rambling?
No, not at all. You're the guest. You're supposed to ramble.
I'm supposed to ramble.
You're supposed to.
You're killing me. Is there any, are people asking any questions or anything like that? Or are there any comments out there? I don't know.
Oh, there's been, I haven't been making notes, but there has been tons of questions or comments throughout this. They are loving this. I guarantee you will see if your Instagram hasn't blown up yet, it will be blown up by morning. I bet you everybody that is in chat will be following along and asking you questions. We all
bring it.
Love the mycology.
That's what we're hoping for. Open up more doors for everybody out there. Anybody and everybody.
And we all, there's more and more, the community is waking up more and more to
strains, bro. You asked me strains. Sorry.
Yes, so, please.
Penis envy, bottom line. That's by myth and by legend. Everyone will tell you penis envies. They have other ones out there that are real good and strong. But if you can get your people talk about growing a good penis envy, that's what you want. That's your stronger ones.
Should they just stick to one in particular fungi, or should they try to get their hands on a couple and maybe mix them up on their microdose?
Well, let's talk about so cubensis is the species of mushroom that carries psilocybin in it, and the psilocybin then also synthesizes to psilocin, if I have that word right, psilocin. It's a synthesis of the psilocybin. And when you look at a mushroom, let me I might have it right here. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. When we look at a mushroom that's has psilocybin in it. It's unusual in that the fruit of the mushroom is, it will bruise if you touch it, or sometimes you don't even have to touch it. It's going to bruise on its own a blue. We've gone and now there's been a lot of lab work, and it's proven that that blue is proof of the psilocybin presence in the fiber of the fruit. So, having said that, one of the ways we know humans, not in a lab, you're out in the field, if you pick a mushroom and it bruises a bluishness, and also the spores themselves are a purple. They're a dark purple on almost every one of the psilocybin except albinos. That will tell you that you're now dealing with a psilocybin mushroom. There's only a few of them that do that. Here's an example of one. I don't know if my camera's going to show it well, but you see that little guy? Can you see him good, Eagle?
I can.
You see the blueness on there?
I do.
Okay. So that guy right there is telling you he's magical. He's got a bunch of psilocybin in it. So, forgetting completely that I jumped ahead and said penis envy, it really won't matter what kind of shroom you get, as long as it's got that, as long as it's got blue. So there's different strains. Here's one. This is called Ghost. They very good, very strong. Here's another one. Does it have blue pops? Well, I don't know. You tell me. When we pluck them real careful. We try not to bruise the stalk, but down at the root. Is it blue?
Yes,
I don't know. Eagle, is it?
I see it.
Okay, that's a Burma. Boom. Are we enjoying this out there? You guys gotta be loving it. Okay. What about this one? They got a little bit of blue on it. One more, we plucked it. Sure does. That's a tidal wave. So there's different strains, they all do, they grow slightly different, but they're all basics. We teach you how to do it. It's the easiest thing in the world. Here's why it's important that a guy learns how to do it on his own, because we're about 2 years away, Eagle. Take my word for it. I'm the old guy that has a little more experience than the rest of you. Take my word for it. We're about 2 years away. Sure, it's going to be, oh, it's legal. You guys can grow it yourself. No, it's not illegal anymore, just like the cannabis industry. But we're going to regulate it. We're going to tax it. We're going to tell you how to use it. And you know what? Big Pharma is going to come in and try to make their own capsules and sell them to you. Well, I don't want Big Pharma to be giving you a capsule. I don't want Big Pharma to teach you how. They don't want to teach you how. Big Pharma is going to sell you little capsules that are a crap, just like you get at the dispensary weed now. Okay, you don't want that. You want to grow your own. Grow and grind your own. And you know how you do that? Give me 1 second. 1 second. I know we don't. This is how you do it. You grow your own. 1 tub at a time. That's what we teach people. We grow our own. And why? Because eventually they're going to grow it for you, and you're going to get crap, and you're going to get owned by the man again, and screw that guy who doesn't care about you. And so when you grow your own, guess what you do? Guess what Pops does? He grows a bunch and gives a bunch away. And they grow their own.
To what you're doing.
We're all out there growing out. Give some of it away. And then a bunch giving away. This guy's giving some away. This guy's giving. Then Big Pharma can't make any money off of us. And guess what? That guy with the yacht, he's the guy that owns Big Pharma. Remember? The guy with the yacht, now he can't make his yacht payment. Ha ha! Let the yacht sink. And you're the guy. We are the guy that get to sink his yacht. Guess how we sink his yacht, you guys? I'm going to tell you guys a secret. You know how to sink Big Pharma's yacht? One tub at a time.
I love this guy.
Ugh.
I agree.
You can sink yacht.
Man.
I swear to God. There's no yacht in my. I don't let the. I'll punch a hole in the yacht myself. Well, I am.
Man,
I know, bro. I just said that out loud. Guess what? I wake up every day punching holes in that yacht. Every day, I love it. I freaking love it. I'm punching holes in the yacht every freaking day. Boom, another yacht. Boom, another freaking hole in the yacht. One tub at a time. That's it. So I'm a warrior for the right thing. And warriors don't quit. When you wake up, nobody said, "Oh, you're supposed to quit today." Warriors make war till they die. That's what you do. You signed up to be a Myco warrior. Do it till the end. Warriors.
Man, I seriously appreciate your fire. I do. Man, you're right. This is something that people need to learn, that this is something that you can do for yourself. This is
we
medicine.
We forget. We sit around on our couch and tell ourselves, "Oh, but we feel sorry for ourselves. Everyone's taking advantage of us." You're taking advantage of yourself. It's a gosh darn plastic tub, some dirt and grain, and you can go to work. But instead, oh, I'm sick. I'm tired. I have anxiety. I have depression. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can change all of that one tub at a time. That's all you got. And then people are doing it. That's the glory of it. That's why I'm so goddamn excited. That's why I jump up and down. I've been at it for 20 hours today already, and I'm not going to go to sleep for another hour because I got a couple tubs that I want to get ready. I have two girls, two beautiful ladies, one flying. I hope people are listening to this. You're not going to believe this community. One's flying from Florida to Toledo to her girlfriend's house. Then they're renting a car and driving up here to Detroit so they can spend a day learning how to make a tub so they can grow their own medicine. Bitchin'. 2 more holes in the yacht.
Thank you.
Two more holes. No,
taking the time to do.
Thank them. They're the ones on the plane, and they're the ones driving all the way from Toledo. Thank them. They're the freaking bitching ones. Jeez. Thank them. They're waking me up. They're making me wake up. Thank them. If they weren't coming from Toledo, I might not wake up tomorrow. I might just take the day off. But I don't take days off.
You're teaching people how to fish. You know what I'm saying? You're teaching two amazing people, and they can go home and they can teach others that, if they
it's already happening because mycology is not hard, and it's easier than our weed game because we can flip a tub in 30 days. You can flip a tub in 30 days right there. Weeds, it's a lot more. It's a much more difficult process.
Do you mind telling people? I know you can order spores online, but do you have a source that you mind, credible source you mind throwing out there for people that would like to order some and get their journey started?
Okay, it's a really fair question. When we first start, we're looking at our shroom. Okay, our shroom, the cap opens up, spreads out spores. Okay, the shroom itself, you have a mycelial network. The shroom is the reproductive organ of the mycelial network. Okay, it's what it is. It's wanting to reproduce more mycelium. So it sends out a penis, looks just like one, and that's actually what it is. Don't argue with me out there in the biology world. It's the penis of the mycelium goes up. It opens up the cap and it shoots out spores. We're going to call that the sperm. Okay. So now it's shot out sperm. That sperm catches air, wafts off somewhere, and it's supposed to land. That one little spore lands in a perfect spot, just the right temperature, right humidity, a leaf covering it, not much sunshine, everything perfect, just right. 1 out of 1 billion, one of those spores. And remember, it can cross any border. It doesn't have a border. It blows wherever it wants. Nature's in charge, not man. So now it blows somewhere and start a new mycelium network, all from one little spore out of all of that to say, we as humans have figured out we can get those spores out of this guy, put them in a syringe, and inject them into jars of grain or jars or bags of grain. I didn't have all this ready on purpose. It just happens to be here. Or we can take the spore and inject it into these. That's a way to do it, but Pops is here to tell you that's the long way. And it's the completely 100% legal way. In 47 states in the United States, you can buy the spore in a syringe. Give me 1 second. I'll have a spore print like this. That's actually a print from an existing cloning. We're basically cloning the mushroom. We take the cap, we make a print. We'll scrape a little bit of that off into a solution and take that solution into a syringe. I would now, from this guy and my syringe, be able to inject into this. And then about 21 days later, it's turned all white and colonized like this. And now I would be ready to turn this into a fruiting body. But my lesson to everybody, because you asked the question, do I have any sources for spore syringes? This is what you need to start. The answer is you can look online everywhere. There's a lot of companies out there selling spore syringes. And spore syringes is legal. The spores, there's only a couple of states that don't allow you to ship spores. So you can buy these all day long in any strain you want. Burma, Penis Envy, Golden Teacher, Ghost, anything that you'll do your research, figure out which ones you want. You can buy spore syringes. You're off and running. Remember what I said? It's the sperm. It's the very beginning. So it's Las Vegas. You don't know for sure when you shoot that spore if it's going to connect or not. Sometimes the jar comes up blank because you use spores. You use the basic beginning life form. There's another level out there for if you're new and you want to, boom, get into this game. Pops is telling you, do this. Get on IG, Reddit, wherever you can connect with somebody, ask for liquid culture. Liquid culture is the next step up in your syringe. I didn't have any. They're upstairs in my other chambers. That syringe, instead of being full of little black pepper dots, which are spores, it's full of clouds. We've spent a couple of weeks in the laboratory taking the print, and instead of just being a spore syringe, we've given a lot more life to that and turned it into a liquid culture. That liquid culture to sell back and forth is not legal. So you got to find somebody that's willing to work with you. And that syringe, because it's created, there's more life in it. So there's a whole underground market out here of people selling liquid cultures back and forth to each other. It's the way, if you want to get in the game, you want to get your stuff going quick, you'll want liquid culture. If you want to be at home and look, I'm really worried about what's going to come in the mail, you'll want a spore syringe. But guess what? At the end of the day, once you've taken your spore syringe and shot it into a jar, or you take a liquid culture and you shoot it into the jar, you're at the same point. You're growing. So what do you want? And for me, I'm over being afraid of the law. I'm over worrying about any of it. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think that there's a whole lot to worry about anymore. Johnny Law's not chasing the mushroom guy right now, especially somebody that's not making any money at it. They're not worried about the guy that's broke. If there's anybody they're chasing, they're going to chase the mushroom cartel guy. And I don't know who that is. There's not a lot of guys out there making $1,000 million off of mushrooms. Another thing is they're not too worried about it, especially here in Michigan. You know this. We're really covered over here. We got some really forward-thinking prosecutors. There's a zero bail policy going on, $100 fine first time you're caught doing anything. They don't care. They're really forward-thinking. And the idea at the same time for us, man, if they're not looking, get to work. What are we doing? Hiding in our basements with masks on. People online teaching with masks on. Who the hell is going to follow a teacher that's wearing a mask? You're practically saying, come on, guys, let's do something illegal. I'll teach you how. Are you kidding me? Have respect, have decency, have honor, care about what you're doing, and don't call it illegal because it's not. What's illegal is the law that's telling you, change it. The only way you're going to change it is get out there in the star shine, not the sunshine, and tell people you're wrong. That's a bad law. You don't hide in your basement. We've been hiding in our basements and playing mushrooms for 20 years, telling everybody, oh, we're afraid of that law. Screw that law. Get out of there. Now we're doing that. We're only 2 years away from it all being legal. But you know why it is now, bro? Because the money guy's already put his money in there. The big money is greasing the politicians to make sure it's legal. So they're already behind it. This isn't Pop's conspiracy. It's happening. You got the biggest money guys in the game, Peter Thiel, Zuckerberg himself. They're all tied up with the big corporations. You know why? You haven't seen one negative article about mushrooms in the last 3 or 4 years. Everything you're seeing in media is positive. They're spinning it so well, making sure that we're getting the idea that mushrooms are good. And they are. They're right. But they're doing it. So eventually when that's legal, they are going to then sell you the microdose they want you to take. I don't want you taking his microdose. I want you taking your own microdose. They're setting it up to get legal now, and they're good for that. We want that. But it should have been 20 years ago. And it could be faster. And don't be afraid of what you're doing. Don't be ashamed. If you live in fear, then you're living in the wrong direction. Nobody in fear, nobody that thinks what they're doing is wrong is going to give. You're not giving wrong. When you say, this is the right thing to do, and I got to give it away. Don't wear masks. Don't be afraid. And I'll tell you what, if somebody on the planet decides, nope, that old man should go to jail for what he's doing, I'll be out of jail in 24 hours. I'll be out of jail in 24 hours. Oh, they should take his house from him. That's okay. I have 3 more. I don't care. Take it. I'm not going to shut up. There's no reason to shut up anymore. Take my house. Put me in jail for 24 hours. I'll be out. And then you think that this old man that can't shut the hell up isn't going to be on the news? Or am I kidding you? Because he's teaching people how to grow fungus? That's the other thing that cracks me up. You think putting me in jail is going to stop me from growing fungus? Fungus grows under my fingernails. I can grow fungus anywhere. It grows under Fungus is the most basic thing in the world, and they're going to tell us we can't grow it. I own this property outright. I signed up when I was 20 years old to bleed and die for this country. And you think that they're going to tell me I can't grow fungus in my own basement? Go to hell.
I agree
Oh,
with you.
I'm bringing them in by the trainload. The only thing I don't have is a billboard out front.
So what would be a psychedelic or non-psychedelic? What would be one of your favorite mushrooms, for any reason? Do you have a favorite in particular outside of psilocybin? It don't have to be a magical mushroom. It could be lion's mane. It could be an edible mushroom. Is there something there, one in particular species that you're excited about?
For me,
Again, it doesn't have to be a magic mushroom. Is
no, I
there
get
a species?
yeah, lion's mane is very. I'm digging lion's mane. We're growing some great lion's mane. Lion's mane has some really neat properties, and it's also most of the time on our microdoses we keep our mixes pure, but it's a very good mix. We'll take. There's a certain mix, and Paul Stamets is like the godfather of godfathers in the mushroom world, and his recipe, as it were, for microdosing includes lion's mane. He's got about a 60%, don't quote me on this, but 65% the psilocybin, about 20% lion's mane, and some niacin in there. And that to him is like the perfect microdose. So lion's mane is, and even by itself, I have some people that take lion's mane directly its own dose, and it's really, it just helps them. So lion's mane would be my next one. In terms of me and gourmets, edible mushrooms, that's the irony of ironies, is never in my life have I ever been a guy that's liked even, I love the flavor of mushrooms always, but I've never been able to really eat mushrooms because that texture. I've always been, I just would avoid mushrooms, pick them off of the, put them on the pizza because I like the flavor, but then I have to pick the individual piece off of the pizza. So it's irony of ironies that here I am today, so sold out for mushrooms when it was not a food of choice. As good as they are for you, it was just, I could never get past the texture. So I still am not a big eater of them. I'm a grinder of them.
I can understand that. I can feel that. I actually have a bugaboo about mashed potatoes. I can't, for some reason,
Really?
I can't swallow mashed potatoes for nothing. I can eat baked potatoes, French fries, all that good shit, but to take a spoonful of mashed potatoes, I will choke. I can't get it down.
I might be the first guy who heard that, but I kind of can get it. You know what I mean? There's got to be a weirdy thing in there. I get it. Yeah. How interesting. I like hearing that. That's funny.
So, is there what are your thoughts? This was one question in chat. What are your thoughts on taking mushrooms to access other dimensions, psychedelics to access other dimensions?
So I don't have my own thoughts on that. In that I don't have experience. So you're looking, when we're going to use the word ignorant in a really nice way. If people use the word ignorant in a mean way, and ignorance simply means, the definition of ignorance is going to mean the absence of knowledge or experience. So if someone's ignorant or an ignoramus, means they just don't have that knowledge. It's a blank space. I have never tripped on mushrooms. I haven't taken it to that level. And again, I'm just going to go to my own personal philosophy. If I call it a medicine, which is how I grow it and respect it, then to me, and I'm not saying anything to anybody else, because this is all based off of just me, I'll fast forward for a second. I spent 15 years of my life as a preacher, a Christian born again preacher. And it's your job as a born again Christian preacher is to tell everybody else they're wrong, but your circle of belief is right. And incumbent upon you is to win as many people to your belief as possible. And usually the way you do that is by convincing them they're wrong and you're right. So you basically sell Jesus to them. You become a good Jesus salesman. The better you can sell, the more people you get to your side, into your circle. So I said that to say, at 45 years old, when I quit that, I quit it for that reason, because it was so hypocritical. Here I am pretending to be Mr. Jesus to everybody, and I'm this, follow me, listen to what I'm telling you. I know more than you guys. I'm right. Everybody else is wrong. And I'm at home jerking off to pornography just like everybody else is. I'm out sinning just like everybody else is. I'm out having the problems that everybody else. Maybe I'm not screwing around on my wife, but I just pornography alone screwing around on your wife. You know, it just, everybody's a hypocrite that's trying to tell everybody else how to live perfectly. You're all a bunch of hypocrites. I was chief hypocrite number one. And at the same time, trying to tell everybody else I'm right and you're all wrong. It's why am I telling you that right now? It's the last thing I'll ever want to do again is tell people they're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and they're wrong. Excuse me. I don't want to be that guy anymore. I quit being that guy a long time ago. I'm supposed to be the guy that says, this is what I know. This is my experience. And after that, I don't know anything else, man. And I'm blessed. Bless you for being on your journey, and your journey is beautiful, and mine's okay too. And there's no winners, and there's no losers, and there's no boundaries, and there's no circles, and there's no flag. Why does that matter to your question? Because I can't tell a guy that's been on a psychedelic journey that he's right or wrong for going on it. I don't know. I've never been on it. So it's not my job to tell him go on it or don't go on it. For me, I look at that. I grew the medicine not to go on a psychedelic journey. I grew that medicine, again, back to my analysis of being a doctor. If I'm going to prescribe oxycodone or cocaine, anything, you can use medicine in a limited amount for right reasons. I think you can abuse anything. And I'm not the guy that wants to, I'm going to call it abuse for me, not for someone else. But it would be abusive for me to take a psychedelic amount. So I've never done it.
You know, so
that's a law.
This is my thought, Pops.
Okay.
Is it abuse? I mean, seriously, I've been on a few deep trips, and to be honest with you, I've heard you talking about opening up doors. And when you get into that deep into the mushroom experience, I'm here to tell you, it opens up doors in your mind, because you even said yourself, it's rewiring your brain. When you're in them heavy doses, sometimes what you find when you're in there can be revelation, huge revelations. It might even be things you never even thought of that you agreed with.
Bro, you're completely nailing it. And I'm the same thing from you and from countless others. So I'm good with that. That's why nobody says don't take this amount. Take whatever's working, whatever you're looking for, whatever experience is best out there. Man, after my 63 things around the star, I don't need today. And I might tomorrow. I might wake up tomorrow and go, man, today's the day I'm going for the big hero dose. But I just haven't yet. So I'm ignorant on it. I'm glad to hear that people are getting that. And for me,
I honestly think, for a lot of people, it shakes their whole way of thinking, and this, I kind of hinted to this, and hopefully you don't mind me.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm not thinking that's as much from the organics as you get your DMTs and your LSDs, your ketamines. Those are the ones that are like, people come out of it with, new concepts and things like that. And again, man, I might even go skeptical on that and say, did it really change your mind? Did it really change who you are? Because I don't see you giving a loaf of bread to somebody today when you didn't yesterday. It's just telling you, you're just getting to go, wow, I had a great experience. What did it do? I don't see you being different today. Very few people go on some magic mushroom ride and then come home and all of a sudden they're kinder and better, and they're giving away the farm and trying to find a way to make the planet better. So I have some skepticism in that. It's like, who did you really do that for? Did you just do it to go have a freaking nice, like having a different thing than having a six-pack that weekend? Because if it's not really changing lives, I call bullshit.
I'm here to tell you. Well, I would have to say to that, I would have to say you should, just like any other experience, you'd have to drink that six pack to see if it would change your life or not. I would have to almost say you should set aside a weekend and challenge yourself to go down that journey, just so you have the experience to speak from with your patients.
No,
Be honest with you, and I'm not discrediting anything, the knowledge that you have, but let me, hopefully, if you will let me tell you, I actually had a life exchanging experience with them. And again, I was right there with you. I always thought they were almost like a recreational thing. You know what I mean? You could take them just to have some fun, and it would, just for laughs, to enrich your experience.
Yeah, that's
and this
certainly
is
not.
what kind of happened to me. Uh, I actually had a steady supply of some philosopher's stones, and I was getting them wet, fresh from the source is irrelevant. So they were coming wet, and I was taking them. They're terrible, terrible to eat, to chew up and eat. So the next round that I was given was dry, and when I weighed up the dose I was going to take, I didn't consider the wet to dry weight. So I took a heavy dry weight. You know what I mean? Not taking the water out.
Yeah.
And boy,
almost
that
like an
experience, it was tough. It was very tough. What unfolded in front of me that night, and again, that's it. After that day, I'm just gonna tell it. So I went in that night, and things got really intense, super intense. It got to the point where I was seeing things that, and again, when I say see things, I didn't physically see, it was more or less acquiring knowledge. You know what I mean? Something like I downloaded a file, and I already
realization.
And what I was seeing was terrible, to be honest with you. It was terrible. I didn't want it to be true. I couldn't talk. I actually had to call somebody, my daughter, to be honest with you, just to have her on the phone. I needed that lifeline to know to reality. I needed to know I had 1 foot into reality. Somebody could say something, you were okay, this isn't just in your head or whatever. And it was tough. What was playing off in my head was so very tough to deal with. And I was forced to face it and deal with it. It all played out within the next year. Everything that I acquired, everything, that file that I downloaded, that progression came true.
Just now,
and
bro.
when it came true, it was like I had already dealt with. People were asking, "How are you dealing with this?" It's like, I've already been here. I've already done this. And after that, it was when I started seeing the angel numbers. And you can call bullshit on this all you want,
Bullshit
but it was after that they were so apparent. I couldn't even dismiss it. the
I don't
need
think,
to,
I'm not,
self-realization and wanting to take a spiritual path, what felt very strong. And my life changed after that dose. It honestly changed the way I respected people, the way I treated everybody, the way I wanted to be treated. Everything changed through
okay,
that trip. And
okay,
it was very intense and very forceful. But again, and even on that level, I think I'm more empathetic, since that journey. I can honestly, I feel like I can pick up and sense when people are having troubles, and I'm almost feel like I'm drawn to help. You know what I mean?
okay.
Asked or not helped, I feel that need to interact sometimes. But it was definitely a true life exchanging experience, and I'm not the only one that's had similar experiences like that. I mean, once them doors are unlocked, they're open. You
So
feel like
you're,
you
you're
there is an akashic record that can be accessed. You feel that almost like hippie or need. I know that's a terrible feel, but you feel closeness to everything that's going on, the frequency that comes from everything. It's kind of weird. It is really weird.
So I feel like the roles got reversed here accidentally, and I didn't. I think there might have been a complete misunderstanding in that when I call bullshit, I'm not calling bullshit on the fact that people have an experience. They definitely have. You're definitely having people go, "Whoa, boy, definitely have an experience." There's no question. They went to the mountaintop, had a mountaintop experience. Happens all the time. It's fun. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes it's a bad trip. I, there's trips happen all the time. What I have my call the bullshit on is life changing. And I'm not calling it on yours, bro. And again, this is me sitting here. I started all this saying I'm not the guy that gets to tell anybody what they do is right or wrong, or even really judge. But when people, at the end of the day, talk about something changing their life, me, from my end, especially spending 15 years watching the hypocrisy of it all, I tell them, show me the change. Don't just talk about it. I want to empirically see that you're different today than you were a week ago because that happened. I see a difference. All of a sudden, you don't smoke. You stopped cussing. You didn't beat your wife anymore. You stopped kicking the dog. The heroin needle is now broken. You are given something. You stop caring about yourself and you care about something. Where's the real evidence? I'm not saying it doesn't happen on occasion. It does. Not that often. It's a trip. And that's my problem. I don't want it to be a trip. I want it to be a changed life. So when people talk about changing lives, Pops just asks for one thing. Show me. Show me one tub at a time that your life has changed, and I'm in. My life's changed. Other than that,
To that,
so that's what
I
I'm
would have to say you don't need much convincing, because you're very fired up in your journey. You obviously know it's changing. It's doing what it's supposed to, because you are changing lives one tub at a time.
Yeah.
It's doing something.
And I watch what it does for other people. And I watch some people who really, oh, wow, that guy is completely changed. He came here as a goofball. Couldn't stop from running around. He's calmed down. His balance has changed. He's not looking for how he can make a buck, but how he can give a buck. That guy's life has changed. Then I got other guys. How can I flip 40 today, man? I'm gonna make some money at this. We're gonna go make a bunch of money. Who are you gonna make money off of? Who do you think's gonna be
You're in
buying
it for
all
the
that
wrong
stuff?
reason.
If you think you're gonna go I want to do 40 pounds tomorrow. Who are you selling your 40 pounds to? To poor people that have PTSD and anxiety? And you want to take advantage of them by making money off of them? Who the hell are you? I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the guy that needs it because his wife has lupus. And his wife with lupus, I have another, she has migraines if she hears music. Music! Can't enjoy music, pops. She microdoses and we dance. We fucking dance, bro. They dance as a couple in their living room. And for years, she couldn't listen to music. That's life changing. One little microdose did that per day. She didn't have to go to no mountaintop and have no freaking, I saw stuff. And I'm not just counting anybody having experiences. I want to see them change a life. What's really going to change a life is if you could start farming and show someone else how. Then you get focused and you get calm and you say, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do 3 of these. And when we're done, I'm going to go and I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to pick up a little bit of seed and then I'm going to pick up my bags and I'm going to make sure my pressure cooker's set up. And I'm going to have, got to order some new needles and I got stuff to do, man. That's life changing. The guy that's sitting at home on the couch and he goes on a trip on the weekend and he calls me and says, Pops, I saw an angel yesterday. This how my life changed taking psilocybin. I say, you're bullshit. Your life didn't change. You went on a trip. I want to see your life change. That's what I was talking about, bro. And I'm not talking about you. I think your life has changed. Look at you. I told you at the very beginning of the show. You're a freaking my hero. You're putting more hours in than me. You're allowing me on your platform. So bless your heart. But don't buy the game that psilocybin, all these people going on trips are changing their lives. No, they're going on trips. The guy that's changing lives, he's usually did the right thing, the right setting, the right time. You know what I'm talking about.
You are changing life. You know, there is, I agree with you. I would much rather talk to somebody like you that knows the value in the one mushroom. You know what I mean? This one mushroom can change lives. I don't give 2 shits about that guy that wants to profit off the medicine. I had that conversation the other night with a grower. We talked about yields and, you should be crushing it, this and that. And it's all wait. I told that guy, you are in it for the wrong fucking reason. If you're worried about the weight and not the quality and, the amount, the medicine that you're putting forth, your heart's not in it. You're in it for all the wrong reasons. You're in it for all the wrong reasons. It's a medicine, and that's what it's about.
There's techniques available to us to speed up the growth. There's techniques that, you want to it's all there, and it's okay. Do it. You have every right to make money, family, buy a yacht. You have every right to do anything you want with your time, space, and skills and what your blink on the planet. Spend your blink doing whatever you want. It's okay. I'm not here to tell anybody don't spend your blink doing what you want. But I'm not going to respect the guy with the yacht, and I'm not going to respect the guy that's in his blink to, at the end of the day, just make a bunch of stuff that's going to turn out to be rust. That's what you spent your whole blink chasing rust, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. What you going to do with your pile? What you going to do with it? Spend your blink. I mean, you have no clue how you do. We all do. Our space, our time is so small. So little. I started in January. I'm looking at March now. I'm like, how the hell? We're a quarter of the year's already gone by. I had a bunch of plans, a bunch of stuff I wanted to do. I've been doing other stuff instead. This is all in my blink. My God, I want a bunch more. I want my blink longer. I want more blinks, but they're not here. So do the right thing in the one you got.
I just, as far as the trip goes, so I guess this is a good question because of what you've said as far as like, your spiritual side of things, you being, a minister there for a while. Do you believe that the mushrooms do have, it can be used as a spiritual tool?
Okay, so spiritual again, I think we've made that up as men. I don't think nature cares about spirit. I think that is our own ego, something we think that something out there is bigger than us. Something, there isn't a lion, a giraffe, a walrus, even our dog that cares about a creator bigger than them. They just care about making sure that they live today kindly and peacefully in their own tribe. They're not killing each other. They're not, and if they are, they're living by the law of their nature of their own tribe. The old in the baboon tribe, the old might get kicked out, and they have a nature. They follow their natural trait. Here, we've created all of this other outside stuff. Even money itself, that's an imaginary. We created it. We said, I'm going to agree to create. At one time it was wampum, then it was seashells, or it could be beads, or it could be now we call it gold. We put value to something, and then we agree to trade it back and forth. Now a stimulus check, nothing to it. Just print a bunch of numbers and stick it in my bank. It's all fake. It's all made up, and everybody on the planet's agreed to buy into that fake system. We've all said, yeah, let's fake each other out, like pretend these numbers are real, like they have a value. Pretend there's a creator, there's something spiritual out there. For me, there's not. I'm going to live, I'm going to die. I'm a tree. A tree doesn't give a shit about whether or not had a creator or not. It just doesn't want to be cut down. And I don't think too many things. What man is, we created it all. That's my opinion. And that's after 15 years. Creators. Like, you better get into the Jesus camp or you're going to go to hell. You're going to burn forever. And it's just, really? Somebody prove to me with empirical evidence that there's something beyond the grave. Something created me other than my mom and dad and, an ignition of life. And the minute we put creator there, for me, the minute I put creator, the minute I put something like I'm supposed to look up to, I'm getting guidance from this guy, that guy, I'm all of a sudden not responsible for my own actions. No, I don't have time for that. Today, I want to wake up and find a way to be good.
So I guess this is a good point to since that day.
I'm sorry if I
just actually.
I'm sorry if I
gosh, no. Gosh, no. No way.
Absolute crutch. It's not a crutch. It absolutely handicaps who we can be together as people. If we would drop all of that, say we're a bunch of just creations, like natural creations. We came from nature. Let's be natural to each other. In nature, nobody's out there trying to take money from each other. Nobody's out there trying to profit. There isn't a lion on the planet trying to profit off another lion. They're not doing that. The lion out there, one owns his little group, the other one has his little area. They all, whatever. The lions are living like lions, but none of them are out there trying to figure out how can I have a yacht and make sure the janitor doesn't have a fucking salary. And then it's okay. It's okay we do that because we're spiritual. We're spiritual beings. Jesus Christ. Stop being spiritual then, if that's what it looks like. I bet you the most spiritual guy in the game is the guy that owns the yacht.
I
He
hope
probably has all
not. I
kinds of
would hope
crystals
not.
in his house. Hey, he probably is the biggest donator to the church. There's a hall at the church with his name on it. Disgusting.
I actually chased the Buddhism trail myself.
Buddhism is
Moralism.
impeccable. Buddhism is so close to nature, but again, it puts me in a tribe. I don't want to be in any tribe. So I can't call myself a Buddhist because it's a tribe, it's a circle. But boy, that's a situation where there's just respect for life and nature, and that's very, very basic and kindness, pursuit of kindness. Dalai Lama is number one. That figure out what is kindness. How do I pursue kindness? How do I be kinder? Put myself out of who I am and be bigger for others than for myself. That was one of his number one focuses. I love that. Good for you, man. I'm proud of you.
You know, and I have to say again, you know, it was part of that trip that sent me along that way. You know, it was all relates back to that one crazy night that really set me on a path to wanting to do better and realizing that it wasn't material bullshit in my life that was gonna make me feel better about myself. It was reaching out and, you know, doing more for humanity. That's where I was necessarily, you know, feeling some type of, you know, place in life, some kind of fulfillment was, you know, reaching out and doing the right things. And it's through that journey of helping others that I feel more enriched. I don't feel the need for money, you know what I mean? It's weird since I went down this path of, helping others, doing this thing with cannabis, that, you know, my life has changed. You know, I don't worry about money as much, and then fucking things when I need kind of tend to pop up as I need them, and I don't put, you know, emphasis on that dollar anymore. The focus is on doing the right thing these days. And then again, it has lined up so much with what you preached tonight, you know, what you've talked about. And, you know, I still think it was, I know how you
I'm
feel
not taking
about
it
this
away.
word, but I feel it's a little bit of faith that you were sent here to kind of, as a reminder
I'm getting all over
of the
everything.
things I believe in.
Bro, trips are bad, bro. There's no spirit, bro. I don't mean all that. Man, I'm just wanting to come from a fresh perspective of not being so dialed into all of the buzzwords and all of the crap that we get programmed with. Man, I'm freeing myself from that. I don't want to play any of that. No linear thinking. And it's a challenge. I'm not even very good at it yet. Every day I want to not think of wins and loses and spiritualism. And I just want to think, man, I'm a tree today. And how can I freaking put shade on someone? Not bad shade. Shade, cover them. Man, that's if I can just, and it's remembered today. And again, it's not a sun, it's a star. That's a star, man. And then that's just all I got. And I'm not freaking, and work hard, show people how to work hard, be good, be kind. Kindness or like, be a kindness soldier. But
Been a
I'm
great message for sure.
yeah, I'm
So
not the
if people wanted to reach out to you on Instagram and seek a little bit of advice on strains and dosing and learning how to get things started, can they reach out and pick your brain and ask you
1,000
some questions?
Pop Shrooms 2 on IG. Pop Shrooms 2 on IG. Look for us there. And then I'm also on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Pop Space. Just Pop is my first name on it. Excuse me again. I'm coughing like more than normal here on the show. And I apologize. Pop Shrooms. And then I've got some videos on there, little tutorials. I've got stuff we're doing in the lab. I've got couple of different, oh, I'm like you, I'm doing a couple of talk things. I don't have any interviews like this, which is cool as can be. I have ones where I read something or I do some tea with pops in the morning. 9 a.m. I'll be on my show in the morning. 9, that's what I do. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, no, Eastern Standard Time. Tea with pops, I call it. Thank you for giving me a chance to give a commercial there. I didn't even know I was going to do a commercial. But tea with pops, 9 a.m. on YouTube. And then I'm over at IG. I probably do average about 12 posts a day. And usually, bro, people, pops, you're putting so much on. It's energy for me. It's like fun. I'm going to set up a little photo shot. And mostly it's because I'm just showing stuff as I'm working during the day. I'm just photo journaling my day and then sharing it. And pictures are worth 1,000 words. So most of the time I'm wanting to show, hey, if you look at it this way, you can learn. Just look at the picture. And the other part of it, Pop Shrooms, our platform, what we believe here, and how we've built our brand, is if it were a brand, is we entertain, we educate, and we communicate. Those are our 3 planks of the platform that build this process. Entertain, I think, super important. We want to entertain people. If you're going to educate them, and don't go out there being a know-it-all, telling them I know more than you. No, man, feed it to them with happiness. Feed it to them with a little goofiness. Entertain as you teach. That's a good way. So entertain, educate, and you'll see on our videos we have little goofy lab characters, Professor Shrooms, and he comes in videos and does this and that. It's just goofy and it's fun. I've gotten some feedback. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? It's like, Pops, we want more. And I'm like, really? You do? And I'm like, heck yeah, give us some more goofy. So we're educating, and then we're facilitating communication. I don't know at all, man. I'm sitting here right now kind of embarrassed because I just didn't have as much, we didn't always agree on the same thing here, but we facilitated communication. We are communicating. We are opening up. That's opening up worlds. That's opening up like vast networks of information between you and me. We've said some things, and there's these vast chasms. There's 80 people out there going, I got that part. I understand that part. I agree with him there, but I don't agree with him there. It's not linear, man. We're all in this big old clump bouncing around and just being a family. Myco family on IG, we're Mycology family. Here, it's Eagles family. It's a cannabis world. Man, at the end of the day, it's all family. If we don't make it that, go get a yacht. Go be the guy with the yacht.
I want the yacht.
Yeah, go be that.
Be that guy.
If you don't want to be in this, go get the yacht. Be that guy. Because, man, I'm gonna punch holes in your yacht, bro. I'm gonna
I want to go hang out with you and punch holes.
Yeah, I'm that son. Right?
All right, I agree. I want to, I'm glad. I've had a great night. I've had, an excellent night. I've enjoyed this conversation.
Thanks for letting me.
You said we've disagreed a couple of points tonight. I don't see them.
Okay.
I don't. I've not once. I've seen a point we have disagreed. I'm pretty open-minded.
Okay. Right on.
I try to be. I don't know it all. And sometimes it takes somebody with a wiser word to show you that you're not seeing things in the right perspective. And I try to take it all in.
I wear the white coat because it's going to fake them out like, oh, Pops has got to know something he's wearing. Nah. Honestly, it's like when you wear rubber gloves to work in the lab, the lab coat's basically a rubber glove over your body. Basically, you're coming down, you're being clean. There's also an aseptic approach to everything you're going to do is going to be clean. You're going to approach because you don't want to get yourself dirty. So everything you do is clean and appropriate. You do things lab appropriate, and you want it. It's the fact. I'm an old guy. I've learned this when I was young. You want to be something. No, what's the right way to say it? If you pretend to be something, you become it. Did you get that one? If you pretend to be something, you become it. Pretend long enough.
Lots of wise philosophers.
Yeah.
You become what you think about.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite. Who else?
Pretend
There's a
something
lot of.
long and you'll become it. Just pretend for a while. That's all I want you to do is just pretend for a while. Pretend to be kind. Tomorrow, 1 hour, pretend to be, not you, I know you are, you know, our listeners. Pretend to be kind tomorrow. See what happens.
It's infectious, is what it is.
But I know, but really, can you actually pretend, or are you actually doing it?
You actually do it.
I
You
know.
might pretend to get it going, but once you're going through the motions, you just tricked yourself.
And now you did it for one day. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it the next day too. And then we all know that if you do something consistently for 3 weeks in a row, it becomes a habit. What's wrong with positive habits? I love positive addictions. Mycology, positive addiction. There's a lot of positive addiction people. Oh, addictions are bad. No, they're not. I know guys that are bike riders. Man, that guy's the most shaped guy I've ever. Fishing, loves fishing. Oh, runners. No, there's a lot of addictions. Weightlifting, body workout. A guy goes to the library every day. There's a lot of really good addictions. Ones that put needles in your arm, too many pills up your nose, those are bad ones. But there's a lot of good addictions. Find one. There's nothing wrong with good addictions.
I like the one that I've heard of. The best reference to cannabis is, the best said is cannabis is a gateway to horticulture and a better life. Then that's what seems to be the reality of it.
Man, when I first started to grow my first weed, I got so connected to that. I had the hardest time, bro. My first plants, this is how sensitive Pops can be. I cried when I had to trim it, when I had to cut it. Man, I don't want to pray. I don't want to kill my baby. I had a personal relationship with every one of those plants. You know what I mean? Personal. You get in your bigger grows, you can't have a relationship with 500 of them. But shrooms, it's the same way. I have a personal relationship with every tub. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to have to harvest. You guys are so beautiful. I've been waiting for them to harvest. And then finally they are like, oh my God, it's the hardest thing to do. So I love it, man. Horticulture turns it. You're creating life. You got to be part of it. You're not out there destroying anything. You're building, you're growing. And you know that whatever that is, especially guys like us, you're growing more than you can consume yourself. So somebody good's going to get something good out of it. The whole process, you're looking out for someone other than yourself. That's starshine stuff right there. She's shining for somebody other than herself. The sun doesn't get anything out of it. She doesn't get anything out of it. She's given that star.
It's amazing what can actually come out of that star shine. You know what I mean? That energy that comes from that ultimately turns into foods, like you said, buds that are changing people's lives and attitudes. It's an energy that's just being captured and reused, recycled.
She's giving it away for free. Not trying to freaking charge anybody for it. Starshine.
So how long? So you have grown. I mean, what were some of the strains you've grown? Well, I mean, you want to talk about that a little bit?
It's kind of back in the day. So if it's strains, I'm off course a little bit. I definitely stayed with your indicas. So, if I remember correctly, it's probably some OG Kushes and some, what am I thinking? Gosh, it's been a minute, so I can't really remember strains that well in weed. They go in another reason why I tell you the truth. I'll be honest. I hope not too many people are listening. Last year here in Michigan, I've only been here 3 years. When I first got here, I got my medical marijuana license. Last year, I'm like, hey, I'm going to grow some weed. Got a little grow on. I'd done some other growing in the past. Long story. I forgot I got clones to get started, and I didn't tag the plants very well. So I forgot what strains I had. I forgot. I didn't pay attention. Clearly, 2 or 3 of them were sativa, and the other 9 were indica. They're a little bushy. The other one were okay. At the end of the day, confession. I cut them all. I trim them all. I melted the 2 together. Buds. I didn't keep the indica separate from the sativa. They all went in the same bags. Didn't matter. And since I had completely forgotten the strain, I started calling them Detroit Diesel. We're here in Detroit. So I'm like, man, this shit's the Detroit Diesel. You got to get got a few pounds. That stuff went like that fast because it was really good, homegrown. People, Pops, can I get some more of that Detroit Diesel? Can I get some Detroit Diesel seeds? I want Detroit Diesel. I created a strain, bro, out of just calling it a name. That's my whole point. Is
there actually is a Detroit Diesel.
No, no shit.
Motor breath times locomotion, Detroit Diesel.
For the first time out loud right now, first time on the planet, I'm telling the truth. And the whole point is, I think people make crap up. I don't know it. I don't even know it. And I know that there's real genetics, and I know I don't mean to disrespect your cannabis industry for 1 second. I just know how dirty I am. I can mess anything up. And if I'm that bad, a lot of people out there are doing it too. And they're doing it to the mushroom industry. They're out there calling stuff that it's not. You're out there telling people it's the stuff that it's not. So just as guilty as I was last year, you're wonderful. And I mean it sincerely. It was wrong. I should have found out what the strains were and told people the truth. Nope, I'm selling you Detroit Diesel. And all of that to tell you, bro, I can't remember what I grew. I just know I grow good weed when I grow it. And then I make up names.
I'm just glad you're growing it.
Yeah, and then I make up
just
names.
The same as the mushrooms? I'm glad you're providing your own medicine.
Because I can't remember. Oh, evil Pop.
I'd be happy to send you some cannabis seeds. I have tons of flavors I could send you.
That offer. Thank you. And I mean it. I have a little bit here, and I wanted to get my grow on. I bought a freaking nice greenhouse and put it in my backyard. And I was going to get my winter crop going. Now, maybe I'll go to spring. And I just don't have time. I can't serve 2 masters. I can't do the shroom and teach and do all of this and do my shows and all. I can't. And then give a weed grow what it needs and treat her right. I don't have the time. So I have to decide. It's a shame because I miss it, but I don't. I like shrooms better. Growing shrooms.
I don't blame you, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, man. If you feel like I'm cutting out on you, if I got some DMs, a little bit of work to do. I got to be up before 9 for my little show. What time is it?
Oh, heck no. It's 2:08. You went way past what you said you'd do for me tonight, and I can't thank you enough. Before you go, I'd like to tell you a couple of things. One, I think I already told you. Please keep this Zoom number, this invitation. It's always good.
Okay.
For other shows, Monday nights are dedicated wormhole nights, and say after we do this show, I'll fire up the wormhole. And it's always open to past guests. Anytime that you pop on the channel and you see a topic that we're talking about and you just want to come on and hang out, you're always welcome. You don't need an invitation. It's an open invitation. Please use it however you see fit. Okay. The last thing I'd like to get from you, Pop, is a sound bite. It's like the old school radio type thing. Basically, what I would look for is, hey, this is Pop Shrooms, Pop Shrooms, and I'm on fucking Talking Shit with that Eagle, episode 353. You can plug your show, you can add whatever you want to it. But basically, it'll be your commercial for this episode, and I'm recording just this portion. Whenever you're ready, I would love to get your soundbite.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a soundbite. Let me make sure I got the name right on it. So, fucking Talking Shit with Eagle.
Yes, sir.
Did I have that right? I can't wait to
Yes,
scream
sir.
it. Fucking Talking Shit with Eagle. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm ready when you are, my friend.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Pop Shrooms, and I'm on episode number 353. That's 353 with fucking Talking Shit with Eagle. It's been a great show. Yeah, you can catch me on YouTube, Pop Shrooms, or also Instagram, Pop Shrooms 2. But the best guy to catch is this eagle right here. See if you can catch an eagle. Pops out.
Thank you, Pops. That was amazing. And I know we've been dumping your information. Weedus 207 amongst the other moderators have been putting links to your IG and your YouTube all night long. So hopefully everybody that watches this channel will subscribe to your channel, both the YouTube and the IG. Hopefully that if they have any questions, they'll come asking you. Hopefully they won't bombard you, but hopefully they will look you up.
I'm used
Thank
to
you
it.
again. This has been amazing. I've had a great night.
You, man, I have a crush on you now. I'm obsessed by you.
It could be mutual.
That made
Thank
you
you,
laugh.
my friend.
Laugh. I made you laugh.
You did.
Right?
It's not easy to do either.
Making someone laugh is an act of kindness, bro. Don't forget that. Because it really feels good. It's good for our souls. It's good for our face muscles. Your brain gets a little dose of some kind of dopamine or something when you laugh. That's an act of kindness. Go make someone laugh. You freaking hottie, you.
Thank you, Pops. I'm going to go ahead. We're good. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up.
How do I hang up?
Thanks again.
How do I hang
this
thing up?
Press the screen, tap the screen, and hit leave, and you will be out of here.
I appreciate you. You gave me a chance to be Pops tonight. See ya.
Thank you, my friend. It has been a great night. Thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been a miraculous night. I have had so much fun. You guys know the deal. I'll be firing up the wormhole in just a few minutes, but more importantly, you know the routine. Please do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I am a living, breathing example of that, and you'll never, ever get me to quit saying it. You guys have a good one. I look forward to seeing you guys here in the wormhole in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. It's been a good one.